So, my sidecar project finally finished. So we'll start with the bike itself. So this is the last year model of the R1150R. This is actually the Rockster model. I got this because it had the black engine, which I thought would match well with the sidecar that's going to accompany it. Obviously there's a lot of changes to the bike. Obviously we had it resprayed. It's the full unit garage conversion kit, so lots of parts. Obviously a different seat, different carrier, got a headlight conversion, and it just looks a lot better than the factory models. The front end I've converted, so I didn't want to go with leading links because I wanted to make use of the telly lever. So what I've done is relocated the axle 2.5 inches further forward. These are alloy steel links, and then an aluminum lever arm, and then a link going up to the top of the fork leg. So as you can see, these have been swapped round, so this is actually the left side, and the right side is obviously the other one. So this allows me to put the calipers facing forward with some conversion brackets that are mounted here, and then there's a simple mounting for the anti-lock brakes, and then a mounted system for the fender. So this, even though it only reduces the trail from 4.9 to 2.5, is actually effectively it's squared, so it really reduces the steering force by somewhere between 3, maybe 400%. So it makes it steerable. Before it really wasn't. Moving on to the sidecar itself, so it's a square section subframe, which you can see here. This is made out of 1.25 inch tubing. It mounts at 5 points, 2 at the front, 2 in the middle where the sense stand normally went, and 1 at the transmission. The 1150, I've also got a 1200 as well. The 1150 really lends itself to a sidecar mounting better because the transmission is actually part of the stress member, and it's really convenient for mounting. And then mounting for the chassis for the sidecar, we've got 2 links, one at the front here, one at the back. These are pine joint connections. This one's obviously a wide piece because it's got to take the braking and accelerating loads. The sidecar itself is mostly 1.25 inch, well, 1.5 inch at the bottom, 1.25 inch at the top, DOM tubing. And then we've got links at the front. It mounts off the pivot point for the telly lever. This is actually sufficient. We don't really need the extra link, but just for a bit of extra security, I put a second link which mounts to the top pivot point of the rear shock. The sidecar itself, the suspension is actually a radius arm and trailing link, and I'll show that in a minute. We've got an aluminum front fairing here. We've got an LED spotlight, obviously a custom fender. It's a bomber style aluminum seat and aluminum base. We've got interchangeable boxes, so this is the larger one. We've got a smaller one as well. If you come round the back, you can see the LEDs for the back, so if I turn it on you can see the blinkers going. So as you see, the LEDs work out quite well. And then if you can get underneath, the kind of novel part of the suspension, this is the radius arm. This takes most of the load, obviously the turning loads, directly into the motorcycle. It's operated with an airbag, you can see here, and then a separate damper on the right hand side. And you can see in here there's a 12-volt compressor and then a set of solenoid valves. So to control that, we've got a set of switches on the handlebars here. It's an up button, and as you can see, the suspension goes up, down button, vents it out. So this allows the airbag to double both as suspension, but also as trim adjustment. So if you've got a different passenger with a bit more weight, you can adjust it. If the road camber requires it, you can adjust it as well. So that's about it. It's finished. The next one is Mark2. Not going to make a great deal of changes to the Mark2 version. I am going to reduce the the track a little bit. This is 49 inches. It's adjustable by about an inch or so. Going to go with about 46 next time. Also going to change the wheel. So this particular wheel is off a Smart Car. The reason I went with that is you can get the front hub and the front hub, the wheel and the rotor all together. And what I did was just machine the rotor down to accept a standard BMW 2-piston caliper. This is the same caliper as actually on the back of the motorcycle, and it's linked via a hose straight into the rear brake. So this particular bike has got the servo ABS, and that actually works really well with the Sidecar because the obviously there's a lot less weight. The Sidecar wheel braking is a lot more than the rear wheel braking, so it allows you to steer the Sidecar a little bit as you go into corners, which is pretty cool. The next model though, I'm going to go with a BMW rear wheel instead of the Smart Car wheel. I think it'd probably work out a little bit more affordable, and it might match a little bit better. Having said that, you can get the slightly larger width Smart Car wheel for the back of the bike. I haven't made that yet, but I've got a block to make the adapter. I might do that when I get around to it. Anyway, otherwise, that's it. I hope you like the Sidecar, and we'll see what Mark 2 looks like. Thank you.